Hello friends, so today we'll be looking into these queries. So let's first have a look at the input table that we are having. So we can see that the employee details are present here. Employee ID, employee name, the salary of the employee and the manager to which the employee reports to. So we can see that employee ID 1, name is Amit, salary is 15k and he reports to manager ID 2. So if we want to see the details of this manager, we can see where employee ID is same as this manager ID. So here this is the employee to which this first employee is reporting. So his name is Satish, salary is 25,000, and now this employee Satish, he reports to manager ID 3, who is nothing but this employee, where employee ID is now 3, which is same as this manager ID. And then similarly this employee Sourav, he reports to 4, who is nothing but this employee. So in this way we can see that employee details and the manager details are present in this table. So in the first query we have to find those employees who are earning more than their managers. So the salary of employee should be more than their manager salary. This is the first query that we have to write. The second one is we have to create an employee hierarchy starting with the senior most employee as hierarchy 1. So that means that the senior most employee of these employees should be having hierarchy as 1, and then their juniors will have hierarchy as 2, and then their juniors will have hierarchy as 3, and so on. So we can clearly see that in this table this particular employee Dheeraj, he does not have any manager ID. Hence the hierarchy will be 1 for this particular employee, and then those employees who are reporting to 5, which is this employee, he will be having hierarchy as 2. Then those employees who report to Ramesh, employee ID 4, they will have hierarchy as 3, which are these 3 employees. Then those employees who are reporting to either of 3, 8 or 9 will have hierarchy as 4, which is this one. And then so on, the hierarchy will continue. So that way we will have to keep on incrementing the hierarchy by 1 for every loop. So now let's start with query first. First query. So it asks to put the employee details or get the employee details who earn more than their managers. So what we have to do here, we have to put a self join. So we have to join this table with this table itself, such that the manager ID from the first table should be equal to employee ID from the second table. So this way we will get the details of manager also in the same record, and then we will check where salaries of employee are more than their manager salary. So let me put select star from employee manager E1 inner join employee manager E2 on E1 dot manager ID equal to E2 dot employee ID. So we can see that all the details are here. Let me run the source also. So we can see that this employee ID 1, he reports to manager ID 2, who is Satish. So his details are also coming here. Similarly this employee Satish, he reports to 3. So when we have Satish, his manager details are also present here. Now what we have to find, those employees who earn more than their managers. So we will just put an where condition where this salary, employee salary more than manager salary. So employee salary is E1 dot salary, because from E1 table we are taking employee details, and from E2 we are taking manager details. So E2 dot salary, this should be greater than equal to. So these 3 are the employees who earn more than their managers. Or we can just find the employee details only instead of all the columns. So E1 dot employee ID and employee name. So we are getting these 3 employees who earn more than their managers. So this is our first query. Now let's try to solve second query. Now second query, what we have to do, we have to generate the employee hierarchy. So as we saw initially, what we have to do, we have to run a loop and keep on checking the employees who report to their seniors. So we will start with this employee, give this employee hierarchy 1, Then we will check who all are reporting to Dheeraj, who is just one employee. This employee will have hierarchy 2. Then we will check who all are reporting to Ramesh, they will have hierarchy 3, and so on. We will continue. So clearly we can see that we are trying to run a kind of loop. In SQL we do this via a recursive query. Recursively we have to trace over all the rows. Initially we have to create a starting point. In this case the starting point will be this record. This will be the senior most employee. So how we do it? We have to create a CTE and just start with the beginning. So select star, or let me write the employee column names: employee ID, employee name, salary, manager ID. And then we have to create a new column, hierarchy, and for this employee the hierarchy will be 1. So I will put 1 as hierarchy. I will put the name as hierarchy, and from employee manager, and we have to put a condition where manager ID is null. This is important because this will serve as the reference or starting point. So now we are getting this employee ID who does not report to anyone, hence the hierarchy is 1. Now what we have to do? We have to find those employees who report to this one, and those employees will be present here. So we have to check all those employees from employee manager whose manager ID is same as this employee ID. Okay, so right now only this particular record is present in CTE because right now this is the only CTE. So CTE as of now is having this particular record. Now from this employee manager we have to find those employees whose manager ID is this employee ID. So which is nothing but this employee. So what we are doing, we are joining the employee ID of CTE table with the manager ID of employee manager. This is what we have to do, and we have to union those records with this CTE. Union all, select, let me put star here, I have to put the column names also. Select star from CTE C, inner join employee manager E such that C dot employee ID equal to E dot manager ID. This is what we have to do. The manager ID or the employee ID from this CTE should be equal to manager ID of employee manager, and those details we have to take from employee manager table. So instead of select star we will put E dot employee ID, E dot employee name, E dot salary, E dot manager ID, and the most important thing is now we have to increment the hierarchy by 1 for every recursion. So hierarchy plus 1 as hierarchy, and this hierarchy is coming from CTE. So now let's see what we are getting. Select star from CTE. Okay, so we are getting this hierarchy. Let's see if it is correct. So let me see from source table. Okay, so this is our final query. So clearly we already knew that Dheeraj employee, he is the senior most person, so hence hierarchy is 1. Now those employees who report to Dheeraj, they will have hierarchy as 2. So there is just one employee Ramesh, sorry this one. So this Ramesh, he is having 2. Now those employees who report to Ramesh, they will be having hierarchy 3. So we have this employees 3, 8 and 9. So 3, 8 and 9, they are having hierarchy as 3. Now those employees who report to any of these, they will have hierarchy as 4. So no one reports to 8 and 9, but there is one employee Satish who reports to 3. So this Satish, he is having hierarchy as 4, and all those employees who report to Satish, they will have hierarchy 5, which are 1, 6 and 7. So they are having hierarchy as 5. Now we can see that nobody reports to either of 1, 6 or 7. Hence at this stage the hierarchy or the recursion stops. Otherwise, if we had some records or employees who report to any of these 1, 6 or 7, then it will keep on continue for hierarchy 6 also. But in this case, this is our last loop. So this is how we can solve these queries. So in the first one, we just checked employees who earn more than their managers. In the second one, we are creating the employee hierarchy, starting with 1 as the senior most employee and then increasing the hierarchy by 1. So I hope you understood these queries. Thanks for watching this video.